Gender-responsive budgeting is a tool to lift people from poverty through participatory budgeting that reflects the needs of everyone, including women and other marginalized gender minorities. The government has a core responsibility to provide adequate public services for its citizens. Gender-responsive budgeting supports the government in fulfilling this responsibility. What is it? Gender-responsive budgeting does not mean creating separate budgets or prioritizing one gender over another. It means to better integrate diverse perspectives within the budgeting cycle. It means budget planning and spending must address the needs of every citizen, regardless of gender, age, race, religion, or sexual orientation. A gender-responsive budget can support reductions in gender inequality. Gender-responsive budgeting can reduce inequality and suffering by helping to prioritize spending on core services like health, education, and social protection. By putting in place dedicated spending for policies like NASPA, National Strategic Plan for Advancement of Women, and by introducing legislation to prevent violence against women. Budgets that respond to people's needs. Evidence finds that increasing women's participation in governance typically leads to more equitable and efficient decision-making that is more responsive to the needs of women. The recognition of unpaid care work. Gender-responsive budgeting can help account for unpaid care work within the home and community. Women do most of this undocumented, undervalued work. Failing to address women's unpaid care work leads to decisions such as cutting funds for public services or designing infrastructure in a way that does not meet women's needs, often increasing the burden of care work inside or outside of the home. This creates time poverty for women and reduces their chances of participating in the economy. If unpaid care work is accounted for, the government can choose to implement social transfers to women to recognize this contribution to society. Transfers like this do not only benefit women, but also their families. When family incomes rise, women typically invest a greater portion of that income in goods and services for their children. Greater budget transparency and deeper political engagement. Budget transparency in Myanmar is still very weak, and the new government needs to improve overall accountability within the budget process. Putting in place measures towards gender-responsive budgeting would allow all individuals to make more informed and effective choices and engage in healthy public dialogue. Gender-responsive budgeting can help lift people out of the cycle of poverty by ensuring everyone's needs are addressed through public services. The government should be held accountable for responsibly using tax dollars to provide quality health care, education, electricity, water, early childhood centers, and social protection, investing more in legal services for the survivors of domestic violence. The government must also plan a budget that reflects the needs of its people through the bottom-up process, ensuring the voices of women are heard, as the majority of decisions in Myanmar's society are made by men. Gender-responsive budgeting is a tool not only for women. It is a tool to build a better, more equal, and prosperous country.